Hey, what's up, everybody? So, in this episode, James had an idea about talking about my nice and naughty list. So, see if it's the same as yours. Check it out. Right on.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Yamatodamashii podcast. Enson, it's nearly Christmas.
Yes, right around the corner. My yard's like glowing right now.
From seeing it on social media, your house literally looks like Santa's grotto. There are so many lights.
Santa's in the yard sleeping.
Yeah.
I kidnapped Santa.
You did it in 3 stages, though, right? Because there's just so many lights.
Yeah, it's all over, man. And I'm gonna every year I'm gonna just add a little more.
Nice. Is that common in Japan? Like, do you see
No, not
Christmas
at
light?
all.
Oh, really?
Not
Wow.
at all. Like in our whole town, there's probably like me and another house.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yeah, it's not a Christmas country. They don't
Yeah.
celebrate Christmas. The only time they celebrate American holidays is just to have parties or events at clubs like that.
Okay.
We don't really celebrate Christmas. If anything, it's a couples thing.
Right.
But they do have like Christmas events, Christmas dances, Christmas parties like that. But they don't really celebrate it. So there's no like gift exchanging or anything.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I remember being there in November a long time ago and seeing some decorations in Tokyo and stuff like that. But
yeah, they'll put up decorations here and there. But
mm.
I remember my first year I was in Japan. In Hawaii, as soon as Thanksgiving's over, lights go up, trees go up in most houses. If you drive through a dinner with your family, you're counting Christmas trees, and the music changes to a lot of Christmas music. You go into the department stores, there's a Winter Wonderland playing or Jingle Bells playing. So there's a look, Christmas movies start, commercials of Christmas specials. So there's a whole Christmas atmosphere starting after Thanksgiving. Even like the radio, anything you listen to is about Christmas.
Yeah.
So there's a big build up. There's a big countdown, and 3 days away from Christmas, you're getting excited. Christmas Eve is a huge day. A lot of families have parties there. Then Christmas Day, everybody's not working, everybody's off. And I remember my first year here in Japan, I was sitting at the apartment that I lived at, and I remember watching TV, and they said, tomorrow's Christmas. And I was like, holy shit, tomorrow's Christmas. And I had no idea. It just slipped my mind because there's no buildup. There's no buildup in the atmosphere or anything here. And it actually had me hit a kind of a low point. Really? It kind of made me a little sad. Like, fuck, man, this is one of the most memorable, enjoyable holidays of the year, Christmas. It just came up, and it's like, oh shit, tomorrow's Christmas. There was no build up, there was nothing. And I was sitting in Japan by myself, like, holy shit, I don't want to be here, man. There's no, I mean, one of the most one of the seasons I look forward to the most since my childhood, it just kind of is sliding right by me. It's like I wouldn't even know it happened. No Christmas exchanges, nothing. Sitting in the room by myself, like, holy shit, tomorrow's gonna be Christmas. And everybody works. Everybody has to go to work. There's nothing. Post office are open. Nothing's closed. Wow. Yeah. So here, Christmas isn't a big deal unless you're a club owner or you run parties or you run specials in your stores.
Wow, cool. Yeah, I know what you mean. The UK is the same as the US, right? Christmas is huge, so
it
would feel odd, like not having that build up.
The funny thing, Japan's so stuck in their rut is, I remember as a child, Christmas was the biggest holiday of the year for me, and just to build up Santa Claus, all that stuff was really exciting for me. So I was trying to set up something in my town that there's town meetings. So I had one of the representatives speak out for me, and she asked for me about getting like a Christmas list from the kids in the town, and I would fund everything. And with me and the Yamatodamashii Ichizoku, I was thinking of giving each Ichizoku member a job. Like, okay, this kid wants a Nintendo game, you go get that. This kid wants a model car, you go get that. And everybody would get something. And then I was thinking of dressing up 3 different guys, 3 different girls in the family to play as Santa Claus, and we'd go to every door and knock on the doors and deliver the gifts. So I was thinking of doing that, create a little excitement for the kids for Christmas. And we were turned down. They said, no, that's privacy. Like, what? Privacy what? What do you mean? They said, no, thank you. You don't invade our privacy. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And I was like about 8 years ago too, when I wanted to do that, and just pretty much turned me off a lot. So I kind of gave up on that whole idea. But yeah, that's how Japan is. They got their own style, and they're kind of stuck in the old school styles or whatever styles they have.
So after 30 years of living in Japan, how are you celebrating Christmas these days?
Nothing. So up until before Sarah came, nothing on Christmas. Anything, we go to the clubs because they have Christmas events, look for chicks, But since Sarah's here, when we started doing is a lot of foreigners really miss Christmas. So like last year, we had a whole group of her New Zealand friends come over and spend Christmas here. And this year, what we're doing is we're having like a gathering with the Ichizoku, the family members. And it's not necessarily any present exchange. It's more just people getting together, having a lunch/dinner. Solid, Konishki's gonna come and make his barbecue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so a lot of people coming, and we're gonna have like a nice little feast. And like it's gonna be like a brunch, not brunch, like a dinner, like a lunch dinner type of thing, where people come from like 1 o'clock, and then we're probably trying to end it at like 7, so people don't stay too late.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's how I'm selling my Christmas because of Sarah's here. Other than that, if I was here alone, I would probably do nothing and just kind of get into the mode of how Japan is.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn. What about if you're in? Sorry.
What is your Christmas like?
Oh, it's split. It's between seeing family, to be honest. So we'll see my family.
Right.
We'll see my wife's family. They're all located in the same city that I live in, so it's kind of
that makes it better.
Yeah. So it means 2 Christmas dinners. So
yeah, that's what I remember when I was in Hawaii. That's what it's about, is spending time with both sides of the family.
Yeah, it's good, right? It's just, I don't know. It's nice to get together, see people you might haven't seen in a while, give some gifts, all that good stuff. But yeah, no, it's I always look forward to Christmas, man. It's good time of year. So
yeah.
Any other Christmas memories that spring to mind? Was there a particular gift or something you received?
Yeah, when I was little, I used to like collecting football cards, and my favorite team was the Miami Dolphins. I don't think they even exist now.
Okay,
the Dolphins are probably somewhere else. Yeah,
right.
The market. I don't follow the football games anymore or the teams at all. But yeah, so I would there was little packs of 10 cards, and there was little bubble gum in it, but I didn't care about the bubble gum. I just wanted the cards. So I would always ask Santa Claus to make me it's a case of like, I forget how much, probably so 10 packs, maybe had about 10 packs in them. So I would ask for that, and that was always my super excited about getting that. So that was my biggest thing, is getting a pack of how do you say, a pack of football cards, not but like a pack of them. And I was, as a child, I would always try to stay up and catch Santa. There a couple times I would sleep by the tree to wake up to try and see if I could catch him coming in, leaving the milk and cookies.
Yeah.
Never caught Santa, but there were times like I woke up in the morning, the milk and cookies were there. Like, what the hell?
What's going
How
on?
did Santa
Right.
get in? Yeah, so
Awesome.
it was a big mission of mine to meet Santa, and I never got to. So
Yeah.
bummers.
There's still time.
Yeah, I might catch him and then kidnap him for a little bit.
What about
kind of shit he got in the bag? He might have good shit in there for other people.
yeah, you might be able to get yourself a better present, right? So
Yeah.
what about some of the stuff you did for the orphans and that side of things? Those were always, I was always amazed at some of the stories about you going out and buying all the shoes. You guys doing that this year?
Yeah, we used to go up there and buy shoes for them and then buy Christmas cakes for them. But since Corona happened, we're not able to go to the orphanage. So what we're doing now is we're actually purchasing all the shoes and then setting them up. So we send like 5 huge boxes of shoes. And we're actually at this moment waiting for them to send the list. There should be a list coming. I'm just checking my emails now. Yeah, I don't have the list,
Right.
but they're going to be sending me a list of the kids so we can go out. I wanted to try and time it so it could get there at Christmas. It's not necessarily a Christmas present. It's just shoes that we used to periodically go up every 4 months. We used to like, for example, the first trip would be in April, and we go up and buy the shoes for all the kids from January to April, and the next trip would be in somewhere in August, where we'd get the shoes for all the kids from May to August. And we did it in that segments, like 3 or 4 different segments, because then the cost wouldn't be too overwhelming where we're buying like 80 something shoes. But Corona hit and it came to a point where, oh wow, so we just gonna just do one big one now. And so we go to the shoe store and we go there and buy whatever shoes. Last year was 74 shoes, I think. 74 pairs of shoes. And this year, I don't know, it depends how much orphans graduated and how much new orphans came into the orphanage. So we'll get the list any day now. So we're going to have to purchase and send them out. And usually when we send them out, getting shoes, it's about it being in the shoebox. And then opening the shoebox and opening the paper, it's like a little adventure opening the shoes. So of course we need to send them all in the shoe boxes. So it takes, like, when you're sending like 70, 80 shoes, one huge box will fill like 9 or 10 shoes only. So we're sending a whole bunch of huge boxes to them every year. So waiting for the list, and that's one of the things. I mean, if the list comes late enough, maybe you might be able to even come and join us on the purchase trip.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, we could use all the help we can get, because we got to find the size. And we even asked them what color their favorite color is, so we could try and get something as close as to what they would buy if they had the money.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say, you're gonna need as much help as you can, right? With the amount of boxes you have to put together. No, it's awesome. I always think it's a great thing that you do. So, and if any way I can help, I'll be all hands on deck. What about Christmas movies? Any particular Christmas movies that you're a fan of? Have you got a favorite one?
Christmas movie? Shit, I don't really remember, except I used to like the Grinch when he tried to steal Christmas.
Okay.
But there's a bunch of Grinch movies, yeah. So I don't remember exactly which one and how it went. But if rather than movies, there was a song that always reminded me of Christmas, and it was "Merry Christmas, Darling" by the Carpenters.
Okay. Yeah.
That song was played at a high school event.
Right.
And that just brings back those memories of, high school Christmas was probably the best, because, you're getting presents and giving presents to your friends and your family, and the presents under the Christmas tree are accumulating. And of course, if you had a girlfriend, it was about what you're going to get her and surprise her with, So
yeah,
for me, that was one of the peaks of the Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
And so that song, "Merry Christmas, Darling" by the Carpenters just brings that Christmas feeling, and it gives me that, oh man, Christmas, yeah.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgic song for me.
Hell of a drug. Yeah, that's awesome. So another segment I thought we'd chuck in. Let's do Enson's naughty or nice list, because people love the shots fired episode where we gave you some names. So it's a similar sort of thing. I'm going to throw out some names, but this time not just MMA. I've got some celebrities I'm going to chuck in there as well. And Enson's going to determine whether they should be on the naughty or the nice list, and maybe give you a reason why. So the first one on my list is Will Smith.
Will Smith, naughty for sure. I love his acting. I just watched one of his shows just the other night. Although I don't like how he kind of thought he was super special and super privileged. I mean, I don't like fighters who get famous and think they can throw around their fame and act famous. Like the famous line, do you know who I am? You know, I hate when people say that. So when Will Smith did what he did, you know, getting away with what he did, not getting kicked out of the area or even charges pressed on him, that was too privileged. That was too much special treatment for me. And I think he needs to, you know, I mean, come on, Will, you're not going to you can't beat up everybody in the world. You know, you slap the wrong guy. It's one of those things that you just hope he slaps the wrong guy, or he hopes he throws his little, you know, privilege tantrum to the wrong person, like me. That'd be nice. You know, so it's definitely naughty. I mean, naughty to a point where he probably shouldn't get gifts for like 5 years.
Definitely not.
Santa should ignore him.
He's been was he like removed from the academy or something? But he still got his Academy Award, didn't he? So
yeah, it's so ridiculous. Yeah, it's one of those things.
Hey. Next on the list is Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz, fuck, that guy's the good boy list every year, even when he's naughty, because you know, the Diaz brothers, Nate and Nick, when they're naughty, it's just because they're being bluntly honest. And you can't be too naughty telling the truth, you know? So I feel that the Nick and Nate, they should always be on the good boy list. Nice list, not naughty, nice list.
Well, let's see where he ends up. I wonder whether he's going to go back to the UFC or do something else. But
I hear the biggest news now is he had like a huge, nice, lucrative offer from bare knuckle fighting.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, so that's right now. I think it's at the point where they're going to see what Nick is his answer is. The other good thing about the Diaz brothers is Nick, I think, is coming back, making a comeback.
Ooh, again
in MMA. He's announced that he's going to fight in UFC again. Wow. And Nate has got a huge lucrative offer from the bare knuckle fighting. So I really like the Diaz brothers. You know, you either hate them or you like them.
Mm-hmm.
But I've not met them personally, and I don't just look at what they do, but I look at the reason behind what they do and what they say, and it's all real, man.
Yeah,
I mean, those guys are better and cleaner than a lot of these guys that, you know, try to pretend like they're good guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Those guys are more dangerous. The ones who pretend to be good than the ones who are bad boys because they're bluntly honest. You know, like Sean Strickland, man. He's a bad boy. Was he on the list?
He might be.
Sean Strickland is another one that I would definitely put on I would just put him on the naughty list because he would really appreciate me putting him on the naughty list. But I like how he is, and I would on Enson and Inoue list, he'd probably be on the nice list because he's just brutally honest about his opinions, like almost like the Diaz brothers. So
see, I think I would put him on my naughty list. You know why? Because he chats a big game about being a killer, and then his fighting doesn't really reflect that, though. Sometimes, like sometimes he's just trying to, you know, land some jabs and stuff. He kind of talks the big game about I'm gonna kill this guy, I'm a psychopath, and then he doesn't always deliver that like performance.
Well, it's kind of surprising because for me, when I see him sparring at Couture's, he's one of those old school guys that spar hard.
Right. Okay.
Goes with MMA gloves and goes in and hits each other. You know, pretty much asks to be hit. You know, loves when he's getting hit.
Right.
And you know, what surprised me about his fight after, you know, of course, besides the Pierre fight, when he fought his last fight, he was actually fighting intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
He was keeping the distance. He was picking his shots. He wasn't getting stupid, and it kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely a game dog, and the thing I like about him too is he'll call himself out when he's being stupid or he's an idiot. He's the first guy to call himself a dumbass.
Yeah. Yeah, he's true.
But
He's
yeah.
true. He's accountable for what he says and does, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's another one. Yeah, I mean he should also, him and the Diaz brothers should definitely be on the naughty list. But I mean, I think I understand who they are and I like who they are, and maybe just because I like them, it's something that I'm being a little biased on. But
it's your list.
On the nice list, man, for sure, man.
This is your list, and you're giving out the gifts, so I think I've got an idea where this person's going. But the next one on the list is Amber Heard.
Amber Heard, she's not even mentioned on the list. She shouldn't not even be considered on Santa's list at all. She should be on the list of Satan.
Satan.
Yeah, Amber Heard. I mean, she's everything that people shouldn't be. I believe. That's my personal opinion. Like, just the lies were just so blatantly revealed in the court case, and the way she acts after the court case too. It makes it even worse. How she's pushing an appeal.
Wow. Have you seen the latest news?
No, what is the latest?
She thinks she agreed to settle to pay $1 million to Johnny Depp, but then said, we're agreeing to settle, but we do not take accountability for all this, blah, blah, blah. But they agreed to settle, which basically he's kind of like, yeah, I don't know.
Wait, didn't he win $8 million though?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they were contesting it or something. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but apparently that's literally as of yesterday. I think she agreed to settle.
Oh God! And that's probably just the start of another the problem probably going to escalate and go into something big.
I think by her paying less means she can't challenge it anymore or anything like that or something.
Oh, so there's got to be something with that. She's paying less and she's pretty much just gonna that witch will find a way to sue or appeal or do something again.
It was funny because I think she said oh, this whole thing has completely wrecked my life. The U.S. legal system and all this has exposed everything. And but it's what you said ruined Johnny's life for quite a while. So
yeah, exactly. And I think you wrecked your own life.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a controversial one. Always Dana White.
Dana White. I like Dana. I mean, there's that whole issue about if the fighters are getting paid enough or not, but we don't know what's behind the scenes. You can't really compare to anything else, they compare it to NFL players. I do agree with the idea about fighters getting health care or even health care after their career. Guys like Mark Coleman, even recently, Tim Sylvia, his broken arm that he got from Frank Mir is still, I guess the metal bar they put in is protruding out of the skin now. So it's definitely from that break.
Yeah.
I think the UFC should honor that and take care of that, but they're not. So, the thing with Dana is how much does he actually have control of? How he actually was getting blamed about the bad judging. So I think from my sources, Dana White has he has influence on the judges and who he wants to win, but he has no control over what the judges put down. The whole refereeing system is a whole separate system from the UFC. He hates the judges too. He hates some of the referees too, so if Dana was the one that could control that, the referees that he hated would never ever have been on the judges forums. But there's still guys that are as judges that Dana really doesn't like. So I look at it like MMA is as big as it is only because of Dana White not giving up on MMA. So what I mean is, when the Ferretti brothers had the control of the UFC, and they're running with Dana, they were actually having to dip into the casinos, the casino. They had to use the profits from the casinos to fund the UFC for how many years? And what I from what I understand, the Ferretti brothers wanted to give up on it. They wanted to just say, you know what, let's get rid of this UFC. And Dana White is the one who stood up for it and said, hey, give it a little bit more time. And from there is when it took off, they had started the TUF. And so if it wasn't for Dana White, I don't think UFC would be as big as it is today. So with that said, him with admitting within myself that Dana White is one of the biggest reasons why MMA is as big as it is today. If he wants to make 90% of the money now, I think he deserves it, because if it wasn't for Dana, the fighters wouldn't have MMA wouldn't be one of the major sports in the world. It wouldn't be. It would be where we were when we were training, where we were never made money. It's only as big as it is because Dana took all. Dana and the Ferretti brothers took a lot of hits for the UFC. Dana stood up and believed in it when no one else did. Fought through the human cockfighting era. And Dana gets a lot of criticism. Dana changes his mind on a lot of his promises, and I acknowledge all that kind of stuff. But Dana's shoes is freaking huge shoes to wear, man.
That's fair. Yeah.
And you gotta give him some leniency on changing his mind sometimes. And you're paying the fighters. Yes, the fighters, some people don't agree with what the fighters are getting paid. They should be getting paid more. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. They're risking their life in the ring. Possibly. But, you can look at it this way. One, they're getting way more money than we did. Two, you have a lot of fighters in the UFC that's made their life already from fighting. I freak out when I see fighters buying houses and, Manuel Cape, who's not really that high up yet, has his own house now, has a nice car. And it's like, regardless if it's from just the UFC pay or sponsorship or, help from people that's supporting him. MMA is creating lives now, and that never happened in art. You look at, me, I'm still living month by month. Mark Coleman's still, having a hard time. Gary Goodrich is, trying to start something else now, but he's, having a hard time too. Everyone's having a hard time, So, you got these guys that come in new to the sport. Dustin Poirier goes and freaking buys a house after his last fight or whatever, whenever it was. They're buying beautiful houses. Look at the houses they're living. Look at Michael Bisping's house. These guys are, and you know what? As much as they need to give respect to the pioneers like, Mark Coleman and, Toyce Gracie. As much as they got to give the pioneers a lot of credit, they got to give Dana White as much credit too, because he is the one why the sport is as big as it is. So regardless of how much they think Dana is cheating the fighters or what, bottom line is if it wasn't for Dana White, MMA wouldn't be as big as it is today. So I put Dana on my list.
Yeah, I give it to you there. He's super resilient and headstrong, right? In terms of he gets things done, and definitely expanding globally. I think he's brilliant. Like his plans for 2023 in terms of like doing the performance institutes over in Mexico and Africa and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. He's growing the sport. He's definitely moving things forward. And even the stuff like COVID, right? Where everyone was super, super cautious. And he was like, no, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. And everyone, and, the media and stuff is freaking out. And I think even a lot of the fans were kind of like, whoa, should they be doing this kind of thing like that? But he was like,
I think I was one of them too, saying, whoa, what is he doing? Holy shit.
Yeah. But he was right? He was right in the end of the day. Like they found a way of doing it, him and his team. So I can't criticize him there. Like one of the most enjoyable things of like the pandemic, if you remember, there was like nothing to do. Well, in the UK it was like lockdown, there was nothing, but actually we had the Khabib versus, it was supposed to be Tony fight, right? But I can't remember who it was in the end. Who the hell was it? Someone put in the comments. But we had that big Khabib fight. I can't remember was it Dustin? I don't know. One of the big fights.
No, when the Khabib fight fell through at Ferguson, it was
going to be Holloway, and then who pulled out?
Wasn't it Al Quinta?
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe it was
I think Al Quinta stepped in and actually fought Khabib to 5 rounds.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? So it was just awesome that there was like still fights going on, and then they found a way of doing it, and even the stuff in the Apex has been super entertaining. But I do have to say, on the naughty list, should be recognized. There should be more stuff for the legends because you know, you guys need taken care of, man. And definitely the healthcare point, it makes sense because the thing is, if you look at something like the WWE, right, the big wrestling organization, they actually do quite a lot for like their Hall of Famers, their legends. They do like, you know, they've sent people to rehab on their dime and stuff like that, and really helped them with some of the healthcare and stuff. So I would like to see that going forward if they do that more. Just give something back to the past. Also, like showcase the history a little bit more because the UFC doesn't really do that very well. So I'm hoping that as they sort of expand into these like new countries and new opportunities, that they do start to retell the past a bit better and look after some of the pioneers of the sports like yourselves and like you say, Hoist Gracie's and Coleman and Gary Goodridge and all these pioneers. So who knows?
It's funny because as I'm often called as a pioneer, I really don't consider myself an actual pioneer, but I consider the fighters that's been in the UFC 1, 2, 3, and 4 as pioneers. Those guys are pioneers. Yeah. You know, for me, I came in because you know why? You know, the reason why I say that is because when I was watching UFC 1, I was sitting there like, that is fucking crazy that they're doing that. That's crazy. You know, it was like, wasn't even a thought of me to get in that ring.
I guess.
So I was influenced by guys like that watching and say, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I do want to try that. So for me, I see them, although there are a lot of people who see me as a pioneer, I see them as pioneers because they gave me the incentive and the inspiration to actually try that crazy sport.
Yeah, true. I just like it was only like 2 years later, right? I know in like those 2 years, like a lot of stuff happened, rule changes and all sorts, but in my eyes, it's like still pioneer. But the next one on my list to carry on the promoter theme is Chatri from One Championship, Chatri Situtong. Naughty or nice?
That's a tough one because I have no facts.
Okay.
I would just probably fly over his house because it seems like he's doing good things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is doing good things because he's giving opportunities to fighters.
Mm-hmm.
But I do hear a lot of inside stories about how it's not like he presents it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a couple people who are inside in the promotion that tell me that it's all fake. It's not like it is, you know, like honor, respect, giving back, compassion, you know, like that. I mean, and to be honest, some of their things that they show are kind of corny, are kind of, you know, a little bit too like tacky.
Yeah.
If I can the right word, a little tacky.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, some of the stories I've heard, he should be on the bad list. Some of the stories they construe and make it seem like how one is, that he should be on the nice list. So without any facts, I probably wouldn't be able to, you know, I mean, as much as I wouldn't put him on my nice list, I wouldn't put him on the nice list.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm trying to stay safe and be on good terms with Chatri. I'm being honest. I can't say I could put him in the naughty list, but I also can't say I could put him on the nice list because there's too much things that are like, you know?
Yeah. There's a lot of noise surrounding Chatri and stuff. So I like like you say, I like the concept of it and the giving opportunities to a lot of fighters in different Asian countries and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe we need some good news to get on the good list, get on the nice list. Meghan Markle.
Who's that?
I fucking knew you were gonna say that. It's more, maybe it's a British one. So Meghan Markle was a American actress that married Prince Harry, and caused all sorts of controversy in the UK. So, but she's American, so I didn't know whether
married to royalty. She gotta be on the nice list, huh?
Wow, that's the problem, right? Because they exited the royal family. So,
Ah,
yeah.
he's the one that if he married her, he had to drop all his or he
Not
decided to drop all his
just,
rights to the royal family.
yeah. So there's a big thing because it's kind of she was claiming a lot of racism and stuff like that, and there was like within the press, and there was probably is behind the scenes. The royal family's quite old and that sort of stuff, so wouldn't surprise me. But a lot of people don't like her because it's kind of American diva actress comes over and is like, "Oh, why do I have to wear this certain color?" And it's like, it's the royal family. There's kind of those expectations. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
Okay.
it's in the UK. They just released a big Netflix series, and you got people that either quite like her or you got people that absolutely detest her. So,
Now I'm gonna want to look her up and see what the story is behind all that.
it's an interesting story. Yeah, my wife can't stand her, so like,
Oh, really? Well,
yeah, and I know that you hated Amber Heard, so I was like, there's similarities there. Maybe I should see what your take is. But
I
we'll
don't
move
know
on then. I'll let you come back to me on that, whether you think which list you should put on. Here's one for you though. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk definitely naughty.
Okay, right.
Just the fact that he had enough. I have no idea what's going on with this Twitter thing and all this kind of stuff, but just the bottom line is he definitely had an affair with Amber when she was with Johnny Depp.
Right. Okay.
I mean, that's a fact. I mean, the timeline of elevator business and all Amber's a good friend, one of her best friends, ex-husbands. He vouched that Elon came into the apartment. I mean, the suites, the penthouses and stuff. And I mean, him and that other actor, Franco, whatever
James Franco.
that
Yeah.
a freaking weasel. He's another one that had an affair with her while she was with Johnny Depp. So I feel that cheating on your loved ones is just as bad when you're cheating on someone that's with somebody.
Yeah,
that's just as low. Especially like Franco probably knew Johnny Depp. I mean, in that high society, they probably all know not just of each other, but they know each other. And for them to do that, I mean, for me, that's like lower, very, very low. And yeah, so Elon Musk totally. I mean, he doesn't care because he can probably buy whatever he wants, but he's on a nihilist and no presents for him. In fact, he should get some spankings from Santa Claus. Him and Amber together.
There's a lot of people pissed. A lot of people pissed at him because of how he's running Twitter and stuff, like the way he.
Oh, really? Like what's wrong with that?
So he kind of said, there was a lot of people at Twitter working remotely, and it was like, if you're working from home and you're not coming back to an office, don't bother coming back at all, which is like kind of unheard of for like a corporate CEO to sort of literally say, if you're not going to come back to the office, you're fired, right? Like that's very old school mentality. So I mean, it's not like there's certain pros to some of the stuff that he's saying and doing and trying to get the world back to where it was, but a lot of people are kind of used to like remote working and stuff like that. So it definitely, he's been causing a lot of controversies and stuff with Twitter as well, right? With the stuff he's putting out there, I think is.
I don't even need to know that. Just his relationship and his connection with Amber and what he did, how he funded her shit, and that alone already. Elon Musk, no, naughty list, naughty boys. There should be a nice naughty and nice list and then a list for spankings, and he's on him and Amber on the spankings list. They need to get spanking.
Well, let's see if this next one makes the spanking list. Dylan Dennis.
Oh, spanking for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the biggest thing with Dylan Dennis is not all his escapades now, talking and lipping off and getting slapped and slapping and shit. For me, the bottom line was someone like Marcelo Gracie actually trained him from the beginning, and Marcelo's 100% a man with honor. For Marcelo Garcia to kick him out of his team, it explains a lot about who he is. And for me, Dylan Dennis is probably not a very good person. Just on the fact that he got he got ousted by Marcelo Garcia. And, Marcelo lives in Hawaii now,
Oh, right. I don't know.
I was actually going to meet up with him when I was in Hawaii the last time I was there. But the class that he was going to be at, that I was going to just show face and say hello, was canceled. So I never got to meet him, but maybe my next trip. But yeah, I have a lot of respect and admiration for Marcelo Garcia. So, for someone like him to say this guy's gone, he's on the naughty list and spanking list for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Did you happen to see the picture? So he's gonna box KSI, I think, who's a famous YouTuber.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Did you see the picture of him? He was
No.
holding 2 Bellator championship belts. I think it might have been like John McCarthy or someone tweeted out saying, you have to win those belts to actually, like, it completely takes away the meaning if you're wearing belts and you've never won it.
Oh my God. What is that? Replicas, or he borrowed somebody's belts?
No idea, but what a hideous, like, precedent to set, right? Pretending to be a fighter and actually holding a belt that you have no association with. That's pretty, like, horrible. But
he's like, I think he's on the top of the list of being Mr. Cringe over Henry Cejudo, man. Him and Henry Cejudo's 2 cringe kings, man.
Yeah, definitely. I think Dylan takes the cake on that. What about Andrew Tate?
Who's that?
He's that, I don't really know too much about him, but he's that bald guy that had quite a lot of controversial, would say things. He got kicked off like all the social media platforms, and they said he was kind of like misogynistic and stuff like that. And then some people like him because they say like, about being a man and stuff like that. And I haven't really watched any of his stuff, so I don't really have an opinion on him. But he did come out, and you might have seen this, saying that jiu-jitsu was like nothing. Did you see that? Or was it?
No,
okay. I'll have to send you a clip. But he basically said like, jiu-jitsu wouldn't work in a real fight. He was saying like, you don't do
what's funny about that?
Yeah.
Instead of thinking he's an asshole, it just shows how much intelligence he lacks.
Yeah.
And how uninformed he is of jiu-jitsu, because anyone who can say that is very, very stupid, or just does not know jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
At all. There's no way you can say that. I mean, jiu-jitsu's been proven.
Yeah.
In MMA and on the streets. And you know how they say, oh, Sambo beats jiu-jitsu. Khabib says Sambo's better than jiu-jitsu. There's no way you go into as a Sambo fighter and just do Sambo shit when you're fighting someone from jiu-jitsu. You gotta learn jiu-jitsu. You gotta understand jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is the most complex art. There's the best art that covers the ground fighting over Sambo, over judo. Sambo has no chokes. Judo goes more for position and pins. Any wrestling is so awesome, but wrestling doesn't have submissions, has takedowns. So I think jiu-jitsu, as far as the grappling art, is the most complete too. And to fight a black belt jiu-jitsu guy on the ground, I don't care if you're a wrestling base, you're a judo base, you're a sambo base, you learn jiu-jitsu to fight jiu-jitsu. You have to. You can't fight jiu-jitsu with judo. So, they say jiu-jitsu against sambo. No. You can't really say that, because you learn jiu-jitsu to fight jiu-jitsu. So it's jiu-jitsu sambo with jiu-jitsu, So
yeah, makes sense, right?
Those things, yeah. So someone who can say that jiu-jitsu is not applicable in the street, it just shows his mentality as not a very smart person.
And maybe not been in enough fights, right? Like,
not smart enough to have be on Santa's list either.
Final name on the naughty or nice list: Khamzat Chimaev.
Khamzat, I think he should be on the nice list. He's a bad boy. He pisses everybody off, but I think it's just due to immaturity. I think Khamzat's a little immature kid yet. And I think his enthusiasm is what's making him seem like a real dick and start trouble with everybody. Like the last fight, he was just like everybody he came across. starts to pick a fight with Costa, starts to pick a fight with Khabib's brother or cousin or whatever. You know, it's he's picking fights with everybody, talking shit to everybody.
Yeah.
But I think it's just, I don't know, he's just a cocky kid that, you know, just has this immaturity that he thinks that's cool. He'll learn later. But yeah, I don't think he's done anything directly harmful.
He had the weight cut. If you remember,
The
didn't
what?
make weight. Didn't make weight.
Yeah, and that was real skeptical too, because you know what's real hard about that? You don't know what's behind the scenes, man. I mean, the way he acted in the weight cut was real unprofessional.
Yeah.
But the way he didn't get punished by doing that is like kind of like,
That
I
was a weird situation.
Yeah, because
right?
if anything, I would think Dana White would be straight up a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, but it was kind of like, oh, we'll find another opponent for you, or we'll do this, or we'll make an exception, or we do, you know, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how you can't really put all the blame on Chimaev, yeah. So
yeah,
I didn't mark that as a black mark against him much, you know.
It's funny thinking back to that situation now, because you kind of think like they were hyping so much about Chimaev versus Diaz's last fight, all to get you really excited, and then like the day before they changed it, didn't they, to Chimaev and Kevin Holland? So it's kind of like,
I mean,
I wonder if that was, you never know, right?
You know,
Maybe
what's
it's
the weird thing about all that is, you know, for that to happen is like never, ever in the history of the sport for the main event to change over like that, and then to have two fights actually change over like that,
yeah,
is even more crazy. You know, like Holland's fighting Chimaev, and then Nate's fighting, what is that? Master? Was it who did he fight?
No, it's Ferguson, Tony Ferguson.
Ferguson, yeah. You know, it's like that's even huge to pull off. You know, like especially someone like Nate Diaz is kind of like, fuck you. I'm supposed to fight him. He's not going to fight. He didn't make weight. Fuck him. You know.
Yeah.
So to have all that agreement, Ferguson's pretty much a man that speaks his mind too. So you got him, Nate Diaz who speaks his mind, Chimaev who don't give a fuck, and Holland's like a guy, one of the few guys who he'll be talking and lipping as he's getting punched in the face.
Yes.
You got all these outspoken fighters with not a peep out of them. With that whole big, you said like, wait a minute, something's going on here, man. Holland's not going to talk shit. Whoa, what's going on? Holland? And then you go and say, wait a minute, Chimaev is cool. He missed weight. He's a bad boy. He's a bad one. So of course he's going to be okay with. Okay, let's put an exception on that. Then you got Ferguson. Like, whoa, Ferguson's a pretty sure would say, fuck you. I'm contracted to fight this guy. Fuck him, you know. And then you got Nate Diaz, and all these guys are quiet and making a nice transition. And Nate saying, okay, I'll fight Tony. Okay, Tony's saying, yeah, we should always fight in the past. So I'll fight him. And then Chimaev, of course, is going to be okay because he can fight. And Holland's going to step up and fight. You know, he was supposed to fight someone else that's not even in the same league as Chimaev. And he got a way tougher fight now. And it's like, okay, maybe he got compensated good. Dana said he didn't compensate the fighters. So, you know, it's one of those things. I can't really hold that weight cut miss of Chimaev. Well, did he already know? Did the fighters already know that? So was he already informed that he didn't need to make weight because he would be fighting Holland? You know, so all those behind the scenes, you know, never know, man.
Yeah, it's crazy when we actually think, like, because I've barely heard any talk like what we're talking about now, right? Like, was there something pre-planned? And kind of says it's a bit of a, you know, the MMA media, like no one really picked up on that, and kind of says like where we are
most
at.
people that would pick up and actually put it out public is probably not allowed to come into the arena to cover the UFC.
Yeah,
so, you know, the UFC does control their media and who they want in and out. You know,
so anyway, so that's the list. That's the naughty or nice list, and a couple of things I wanted to check with you. So obviously we're wrapping up this year, 22. It's nearly 2022 is nearly finishing. Anything you're particularly proud of this year?
Yeah, I'm proud of. I've been started doing a lot of rolling, fascia rolling my fascia out. I've been, you know, doing a lot more breathing, the Wim Hof breathing, working on that. So I've been feeling like my movement's getting a little better. My knees aren't as much pain anymore. So I'm real proud of the fact that I'm actually in this whole different idea of I'm already 55, I'm getting old, you know. I admit, okay, I'm old, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do it. Oh, I'm not gonna do that long because I'm old. But now with the there's like a regression now. I'm like a change in movement. I'm not getting older. I'm loosening up now. My body is loosening up. I'm feeling better. My shoulders when I lift doesn't click and get stuck anymore. You know, so I'm feeling this rejuvenation of like almost like a new start of something better, that my health is going to get better. Watch me die of a fucking heart attack in a couple of days, but you know, and we watch this podcast and say, holy shit, he thought he was getting better, he fucking died. But it's like I feel like everything's going into a better direction right now. So you know, I've been doing a lot of fascia rolling, loosening up my fascia. If you guys don't know what that is, look up a fascia. It's something that dry fascia in the muscle is what promotes cancer, and dry fascia actually what like fucks up your muscle and freezes up your shoulders and stuff.
Okay.
So you know, with that, and there, I mean, I started working on this guy that does sound wave deterioration of scar tissue. So that helped a lot with my movement too. So you know, that is one of the things that I'm most happy about. My last trip to Hawaii was pretty much a rejuvenation trip where my body just came looser. I knew how to roll certain areas when I sat all day making bracelets, and the next day, that night I was like, oh, so tight. I gotta lay down to sleep, but I go and roll myself out, and I'm like, I feel like blood's flowing through my body. I feel looser, you know. So that what I'm really proud of this year is getting the movement where not saying okay, I'm getting old, so it can't be helped, to saying now, like, you know what, you actually can get better at this age. So looking forward to that.
Awesome.
What about you? What are you most proud of this year?
Does it sound really like cheesy if I say my son being born?
Hell no, hell no. That is
because it feels like I didn't really do much. Like, you know what I mean? But I've kept him alive for 8 months, so that's hopefully.
Well. Let's put it this way, man. You have a little you mixed with the person that you love.
Yeah.
How can that not be a fucking great thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean that is totally legit. I mean, yeah, hell yeah. That's you're most proud of is creating a baby James with someone you love that's pretty much made from your little sperm and her egg. I mean,
yeah,
it's a mixture of you and her together. I mean, how much more celebration can that be of a marriage, man? So congratulations on that.
It's awesome, man. It is good fun. It's just hard work, you know. It is like lack of sleep. I think probably. I'm pretty happy that we've managed to be consistent with the podcast. So we've pretty much, you know, at least every 2 weeks we've had content, and even whilst this child has been keeping me up all night and stuff, and working like a 9-to-5 job as well. So I'm glad that we've still been able to go. And obviously, to cap off the end of the year by coming to Japan, seeing Ryzen, hanging out with you is going to be an awesome way to finish it. So super stoked for that. 2023. Any plans for 23? Any New Year's resolutions? Anything like that? Anything that you can share with people?
New Year's resolution. With the movement of my body feeling better, I'm thinking next year I want to get back into good shape. Start lifting, start doing better cardio, you know, cutting some fat, getting a better diet going. So 2023, I want to try and see what I can do with my shape. You know, I just saw a picture on Instagram of Mike Tyson when he was 21 and when he's 54 now. And it's like, he looks better now, you know? So
yeah,
I'm definitely want to try and be that guy, you know, to show the pictures of me when I was in pretty damn good shape when I was younger, but if I can get to a shape that would at least enough to say like, oh, he's pretty close to what he was when he was young. I probably can't get better than what I was young. I'll be more real about that. But wow, that's not too far away, you know. Right now, I say if I take off my shirt and then I stand next to my picture, the people will say, "Is that you?" So that's how
Yeah,
different it
man.
is right now.
That'd be cool. Be inspirational, right? I think
Any resolutions for you?
one of them is to get a bit more in shape. Like when I come to Japan, you'll see how fat I am in person, right? Like especially Japanese people are so slim that like I'm gonna look like a whale. But
Well, you're not getting in shape here with the food and the goodies here.
no, I know, right? This is gonna be my binge.
That's
But
one of those resolutions. The resolutions will start when you get back.
yes, yeah. A lot of my friends have been saying like, "Oh, you need to get in shape and stuff like that." And it's true, I do. I need to like do more in that space because I just don't really exercise enough. So I'm hoping that next year I'll try and ramp it up a little bit, and we'll be on the podcast, both of us, like.
We'll be shirtless a podcast.
It is cool though when you see like, because obviously I'm in my 30s, I love it when I see guys like Dana White, Joe Rogan. I just watched a video of flipping Tom Cruise doing stunts in his 60s, man. I love seeing that. It makes me think like, because I know loads of people, right, that get to a certain age and it's like their life is over. Like they just like, oh, I'm dedicated to this boring job, and I just hang out just with my family and stuff. You see it, and I'm sure loads of our like listeners know people like that, right? So when you see people like that, like living their best life in their like 50s, 60s, I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to see. Like, that's why I want to be. So it's cool, man. So yeah, hopefully you can be one of those.
Next year. For sure.
Yeah, you did lose shitloads of weight though this year, like.
Yeah. So it helped as far as that. I feel good as far as that. It's just the scar tissue and my body movements is just super bad. So I'm gonna work on that and lift. I haven't lifted at all for the longest time because I've been trying to loosen up my body. So I'm gonna start a weight program again, start lifting again. Get more serious in it and get some. I have done no cardio. The best cardio I've done is like walking.
Right. Yeah.
I might start doing more bike riding, more repetitious, step ups and shuffle runs, that kind of stuff. I can't do long distance runs because my knees are bad, but I can do running in place, shovel run, high knees, that kind of stuff. So kind of looking forward to getting started. My cardio is 0 right now, so start working on that
after Christmas.
After New Year, next year,
yeah, 2023. Sounds good to me. Cool. Well, for me personally, I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas. Obviously, the next time we're back, we'll be in person, which is crazy to think. So,
yeah, that's cool.
Can't wait to record some stuff. Can't wait for people to see whatever we record. Who knows? Any parting words? Any sort of Christmas messages to everyone you want to give?
Nothing. Just enjoy your holidays. If possible, what I'd like to challenge, my listeners and anyone who's a fan, is to try and do something during this holiday season, something good, make someone smile, of someone that you don't know.
Wow, that's a cool one.
That's a big challenge.
Shoot, I'm gonna try and do that myself.
Even if it's like give a drink to a homeless guy, or for me, I when we go, like another thing we do is when we go to the sushi restaurants here, there's some of the sushi restaurants has this little as if you buy so much amount of sushi, you get this little game that you play and you get this little toy, and it's I have no reason why I would want a toy, but I would always, you can say no, off on the game or on the game, and I always put it on. And if we win any toys, I walk around the restaurant before we leave and give it to the kids. Yeah, so that kind of stuff. I don't know who the kids are, but when they see that, they're of course, someone like me approaching our table, of course, the first thing is like, whoa. So the parents are kind of like at guard at first, and then when they see what I'm doing, they loosen their guard, and it's like the kid has a big smile, sometimes a nervous smile, but it's a smile. And I think it's a really good feeling to be able to do that. If you have the power to do that, use that power. And I'm not even saying do one a day. I'm just saying before the holidays are over, spread the joy and spread the happiness and do something good for someone that you don't know.
Yeah, great.
Challenge everybody. I challenge all of you. And if you guys actually do that, write in the comments and let me know what you did.
Yeah.
Maybe we can even talk about that. Maybe you and I can try and do something like that this holiday season.
Let's
and we
do
can
it.
talk about it on our next podcast.
Sounds good. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Whether you just joined the podcast or whether you've been watching all year, we really appreciate it. So please like, subscribe, share, do all that YouTube stuff, and have a great holiday.
And isn't it on Spotify? And
yes, we need to promote that more. But it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. But YouTube is first. So.
Do we have links on that?
No, but we will. We do now in the description, which will now be
right there. There's links to it. Check it out.
There you go. Check it out. Cool. Thanks everybody for watching. See you soon.
Have a happy holiday and be safe, everybody.
All right. Thank you for listening. And if you guys have any comments or suggestions of what we should do or about what you thought about my nice and naughty list, write it down, like and subscribe, and check you guys out later. Right on. And have a happy holidays. Merry Christmas.